name is Steve Nash, and I am the president and CEO of Stoddard Baptist Home Foundation here in the District of Columbia. I got involved in the game of golf through my father. And my father, his love of the game of golf, eventually pulled me in because I was not in love with the game of golf at first. I played all other sports, but golf didn't interest me. I was looking at the demographics. It was older people. It was people of other colors and persuasions. And I liked football and basketball because it was a younger sport. The girls were cheerleaders, and you went in these big places and played all these fancy places. So that really interests me. So I went and played football and basketball and other sports, ran track, a little baseball, a little tennis here and there, all the way up through college. As I said, my falling in love with the game of golf came through my love of my father. And my father and I, as we grew older, we couldn't go out and play basketball or football or any of those things like we used to. And so he was really into golf. And so I started gravitating to golf so I can spend more time with my father. So I wasn't really serious about it at all. And I would just go and play with him and hang with his buddies. And it was kind of like, you know, they would just let me tag along. And I was terrible at the game. I didn't practice. I didn't do any things that they used to do. But eventually I fell in love with the game of golf. Now, he tried to get me as a teenager. And I have to tell this story. It's a pretty funny story. As a teenager to play golf. And I said, Dad, you know, it's only for you old fat guys, that's why. And I'm an athlete, so I can do anything that I want. And this is a 16-year-old speaking. So he gives me a 7-iron. He said, go over there and hit the 7-iron. And I took the 7-iron and swung and hit the ball as hard as I could. And I hit the ball 220 yards right down the middle. I took the club and put it in his face and dropped it and said, see, I'm an athlete. I don't need to practice. This game is going to come natural to me when I'm ready to play. I'll play it. And so some 30-something years later, when I try to do that again, I hit myself in the head with the club. But it came through being with my father and being with his friends and going out on trips with him. And then he was a member of Hobbits Glen Golf Course in Columbia, Maryland. And so playing with him and going out with him, caddying and just hanging out with them, I really started to love the game. And the point that really got me is I played in my first tournament with he and his friends. There was a tournament for my job at the time. And I had never played in a tournament before. And we won the tournament. And so when we started getting the gifts and all the trophies and all that kind of stuff, I said, I love this game. So after that point, I really started getting into it, and I started listening to him, and he would give me lessons, and he would take me out and show me things, and he would play with me and take me out and be very patient. And so I'm 35, 40 years old at this time, so I'm not a child. And so the fact that my dad would take time out of his busy life to come and play with me and teach me the game, it really, really meant a lot to me at that point in my life. Yeah, so learning the game and then being exposed to my dad, who was the senior champion at his club, Hobbits Glen, allowed for him to tell me about how he experienced guys like Jim Thorpe and Lee Elder and Charlie Siffers and all those guys, and how great golfers they were. And then he exposed me to his group of friends who were involved in a lot of the groups that we have taped, like the Royals and the Pro Duffers, which I'm a member of the Pro Duffers now. That allowed me to even be exposed to more and more black golfers, not only locally, but across the country. And you know, I probably would have never heard of like a Rick Hyde if I wasn't a pro duffer. Even though we went to the same university, Princeton University, I didn't really know of Rick as a golfer, but I learned through here about Rick Hyde, and then I started doing my research as I started loving the game more, and I'm like, wow, this is a brother that lived in the same dorms and walked the same grounds I did. I got to meet this guy, so I had a chance to meet him as a pro duffer. So the network of golfers in the DMV is very large and very extensive, and it's kind of like once you know one person, you get to know a lot of other people as well. But definitely my time with the pro duffers over the past couple of years, I really met some pretty awesome guys. And even with Ron Thompson and how we met. I met Ron Thompson through a couple of golf tournaments, and then we started having golf tournaments at Stoddard. So we're going on our 12th year of having a golf tournament at Stoddard. We've raised almost $300,000 over these past 11 years for the care of our seniors. And so that was a very positive thing, and a very positive thing with the network, is I can always call on guys and say, please come, come and play. And I can count on the pro duffers, and I can count on the Royals, I can count on the Wake Robins and all those folks to at least send one foursome in to support it, because we're African-American owned, run, nonprofit here in DMV. So it just brings all of these groups together and for a worthy cause. I got introduced to the pro duffers through my dad. He told me about them some time ago. And then a friend of mine, I actually joined about 4 years ago, the pro duffers, through a friend of mine. And that was a very good experience. Again, traveling around the country, meeting other golfers, playing golf on a regular basis. And the competition is fierce too. So it kind of made me a better golfer in a lot of ways, because I'm not really a great golfer. But this year, I was able to, even through the Pro Duffers tournament, our national tournament, I won third place in a national tournament. For me, as bad as I am, it was a hallelujah moment. But yeah, that's how I met the Pro Duffers through my dad and a friend of mine. So well, this is Sandy's Mulligan. He has a black club team challenge on the Black Heritage Tour, which is going to be on May the 14th through the 16th. And they're going to have all of the black different golfing groups come together and play. So it looks as though, and I'm sorry, I'm just reading it for the first time, they're going to play, and there's going to be money prizes and teams and golf rounds, and it's very reasonable. But it says Sandy. You can contact Sandy at 301-442-0599. Sandy is a very well-known golfer around here that organizes a whole lot of events and knows a whole lot of people. And he has also participated in Stoddard's golf tournament for many years. So he's been a very avid supporter of Stoddard Baptist Foundation and our annual golf tournament as well. So we want to support what he's doing as well. And that's what we do with these groups. We all look out for each other. We have the time. We'll put our money together and go play in the tournament just to support other black golf groups. I would say fellowship. It's an opportunity for fellowship between all the golfers to really, because that's what golf is really about. It's about coming together, a lot of times playing with people you don't know. You spend 4, 5, 6 hours with guys you don't know. By the time you're finished, you know them very well. Because again, golf is a game of integrity. It's a game of patience. It's a game that requires someone to think a lot. When you see those type of skills with people, these things go out into the rest of the world. But the fellowship part is what I see that is common between all our different groups. As I said earlier, we all support each other. We go to each other's events. We support each other's charities. We become friends. And that's what this whole black golf movement really, really is. It's about fellowship.